So, if you're going to reflect upon what was missed from the election, especially from what the Democrats didn't do or what wasn't done, it was simple. Stop taking people for granted. Stop downplaying uh, race relations. Stop downplaying the economics. You got to have a voice that talks to the central lining of the base. You have to acknowledge reparations. You have to acknowledge opportunity. You have to acknowledge civility, home life care, medical, different common sense things. Can't come across like you uppity and removed. And one of the things that was lost with that amongst that with Kamala Harris, like I said, when I say about not connecting, I am a firm believer that yeah, should have gotten the opportunity because again, no one neither side was qualified, but to me, but she should have gotten the opportunity to show a plan. But people are quick to rush to judgment when they don't feel you, and they will turn you off, regardless of right and wrong. It's not always about right and wrong. It's about the lip game. We don't do right and wrong sometimes. We do the lip game. It's all about the Colgate, the mouthwash, how it hit you. That's what worked against her. Her mouth game didn't really sustain with folks. And she got to talk that talk with folks to say stuff, you know. That doesn't mean that the other side is anything that you want, because that's a poison as far as I'm concerned. But the thing about it is, if you are going to put down what you're going to do and you're going to explain your actual and your factual, then you will get some play. And so when you are just taking people for granted and you're just sitting up there trying to prep a liberalism when you really don't have an agenda, you're going to get caught with your pants down, and you're going to come across like you grandstanding and just riding on something. All you have to do and just show up. That's not how it works. Can't have the fish fry on Friday and expect people just to show up with some coleslaw and be happy and be like that. And I don't want to hear people like they all shocked and surprised, because what has happened over the course of time. Granted, granted, Biden won't ever get his due or her coming in during a health emergency crisis of 2020-21. That's a shame that that gets lost, because that should have been reason enough why she should have had a chance. Should have been using the actual and the factual about having to come in to maintain livelihoods under such trepidation and conditions. That didn't get lost. And should have probably kicked some stimulus checks, should have been doing some back end ways to take care of people, as opposed to how you opening and then you're allowing this whole thing to happen. So those were some faux pas that were missed on her watch. Still doesn't mean couldn't have gotten a hookup, because to get selected, there was hookups. It's too often than not that if you just speak on, sometimes when you got to deal with someone like Trump, you got to play the dozens. And Kamala don't know how to play the dozens. I think that if you played the dozens, you could have really, it was, as opposed to trying to be a goody two shoes, got to play the dozens. If you from the streets, you know exactly what I mean. You be jonesing on somebody, you clap on them. That's what you got to do. Sometimes that's what we need, is you to talk a language that we can relate to. Because if you're not talking it, then you come off like a jive stuffed turkey that has no flavor, no basin, and no feeling, and there's no smell coming out your kitchen. You just cooking something in your oven that is just a big round something that has no scent. I don't eat that, but I'm telling you what it's like if you go to somebody's crib and they cooking and you don't smell nothing. There was no thing coming out her kitchen. And you can't be having your collard greens in the shower. That's funky, but not the kind of funk we want. That alone will turn some people off. But that lack of flavor and the lack of not hitting on the issues, if you clap on the issues and say, look, I'm going to do this. I'm going to stand on weight. I'm going to stand on something. But you just sitting there taking it for granted, and you just kind of like you just going to prance and what have you. And no, that, of course you're not going to have a chance, because people are going to read through it. They're going to call you out on cap because you don't clap. To deal with somebody like that, you gotta play the dozens. That's all you have to do with that turkey. Play the dozens. That's it. Because that's all it's about. It's about streets. Like Lil Kim said, and you guys serve, we're gonna do the streets. We not doing because that's it really. That's all Trump do is talk, talk, and talk. He don't have no agenda, but you can talk street. But see, when you prancing your hair and you sit there watching the people be shuffling on TV because they getting paid and they're not caring about no issues because they're going back to there being the token in the neighborhood. And you wonder, and I don't want people like, oh, I didn't see it. Yeah, you did, because you know why you didn't see it coming? Because you got comfortable. You became what you used to speak against. But you're so far removed, you don't hit. You got to talk the talk. So that's my message to that Democratic Party, to talk that talk. It ain't hard, because the other side ain't going to do nothing. But you got to come out and make people be motivated. You got to want them. You got to talk that talk. And that's where she dropped the ball. One of the reasons why the ball was dropped. Sometimes you got to get street with it. She got to get street with it. You got to shake it out, shake it fast. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another share if you like. Hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. Sometimes you got to get down to the streets. I'm out.